Ghana is a wonderful country in West Africa. As you can see from this picture, it's kind of in the armpit, so to speak, of Africa, right along the coast there. Right now, Ghana is home to about 31 million people, and about 235,000 people have immigrated into the United States. Ghana is also a relatively new country. They gained their independence in 1957, just recently from Britain. They didn't go through a war to gain their independence, but they had a little bit of a struggle that they ended up being able to decipher their differences and come to a conclusion there. Some of the push factors that we see with Ghana and causing a lot of immigrants to come to the United States are living conditions. While I lived in Ghana for a few weeks, a few years ago, not all of the living conditions look like these pictures, but many of them do. They have pretty poor living conditions for the most part. In the city, it's a little bit nicer. Some other push factors come from education and job opportunities. Education is oftentimes expensive for children and not very efficient or effective. And so many parents and families want to send their children to the United States to be able to get a better education there, as well as find better job opportunities. And so all the same push factors that you see coming from Ghana are the same pull factors that we see as well. And so those pull factors would include economic opportunity, job opportunity, education. That is much better and much more prevalent in the United States than it is in Ghana. And that's why we have 235,000 people that have immigrated there, either first or second generation. And so these people, these Ghanaian immigrants, they make on average now about 44,000 a year in the United States, which is much more than 1,800 in Ghana. Obviously, there's difference in cost of living, but that's one of the big reasons they send home over $33 million a year back to Ghana. And so many of these people that have immigrated here, they tend to be in clusters and kind of colonies within the states. And so a lot of them have kind of congregated in New York, Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., to name a few. Some of the traditions that you see in Ghana that are brought to the United States are the food they eat. So like fufu here on the right is a very popular food that you eat with your hands and you swallow. It was one of my favorite foods while I was there. The traditional lapa clothing that the woman is wearing and the kente design that the little boy is wearing are popular designs as well in traditional Ghana. And so some of the other traditions that are very important are the traditional marriage, which often involves a dowry, which pays for the cost of the wife to pay from the father. And then funerals are often very important. They usually take several days in order to properly celebrate the person, and they're a big deal. And so when I was there in Ghana, like I said, I wasn't there for a super long time before I served my mission in Liberia, but I got to visit the temple that they have in Accra, and I got to also be with many different teachers that were from Ghana that served in the DMTC as well. And then while I was in Liberia, I got to serve alongside several Ghanaians who were some of the best companions, the best people that I could be around, as well as I got to eat the fufu, which is one of my favorite dishes that you grow to love once you get used to actually being able to swallow it whole, which is very unusual at first. As far as religious beliefs go in Ghana, they're majorly Christian. Most of the people there, about 71%, are Christian, and then 18% make up a Muslim population, leaving about 5% to be traditional beliefs. So Ghanaian people are very strong in their religious beliefs, and they believe firmly in God, whether they're Christian or Muslim or traditional beliefs. How most people got to the United States from Ghana is actually through the slave trade. So many people wouldn't even know they have Ghanaian ancestry just because everyone was labeled as African American when they first came. And then in the 80s and 90s, because of economic hardship, more people started to trickle in from Ghana as well. And some of the things that are a little bit different than how they are in Ghana are social aspects. Many people would kind of comment while I was in Africa on how Americans would basically go into their foxholes, and they would go to work, they'd come back, and they'd go back into their hole, and there's not a ton of interaction. It's very popular in work and in social settings for Ghanaians and just African Americans in general, or Africans, to be able to socialize a lot and to, be outside oftentimes and work together and play together with their kids. And just, they're usually outside, especially because it's so hot in their homes. And so some of the things that are the same, though, is that they value greatly relationships, and they value the trust that you can have in another person. And they're very hard workers. And sometimes the work is a little bit different than what they're used to in Ghana, but they're able to adjust very well. And many people are able to excel in their careers in the United States. They also value greatly family, just as many Americans do. Usually Africans and Ghanaians are staying with their family and even take care of their family into an old age. And so they're very family focused, as well as many people are in the United States. And so some of the ways that we can just be more inclusive of Ghanaians and African Americans in general, or Africans, would just to even say hi. A lot of times, as Americans do, they tend to go throughout their day and they're busy and they move on past people and they don't even think about it. And it's quite rude to not greet and speak to Africans. And so even just spending a minute or two to give a genuine greeting and to have just a short conversation with a person and show interest in their life is very important. It was common for me to wake up in the morning and not say anything to my companions, as Americans often do, and then they would consider that to be rude. And so if we can do all these things and we can kind of contribute together and learn from each other and each other's cultures, and we can really benefit together. I know I learned a lot as I experienced my time there, and there's just so much that we can learn from each other and grow together.